Bright suns, and welcome back to an all-new episode of Let's Talk About Star Wars with Maggie Lovett. Today's episode is a very special episode because a pre-order that I have been anxiously waiting for has finally come in, and at long last, my collection is complete. If you didn't know, spoiler alert, I am a Reylo, one of those dirty, filthy Reylos. You are not alone. Shout out to my friend Nicole who got this for me. But yeah, I am a Reylo. I've been a Reylo since I walked out of the theaters after The Force Awakens. I am a sucker for a good enemies to lovers ship, and Reylo follows in a very familiar pattern for like most of my enemies to lovers ships, like historically throughout my life. So literally no one who has known me would have been surprised by the discovery that I was a Reylo. Reylo is not a dirty word. We've just been made to feel like we are over the past 6 years. But I am proud to be a Reylo, like 90% of the time. But all of that aside, I have so many Funko Pops of Rey and Ben. I'm looking at my bookshelf right now. I have so many little Reylo figures, and I had really debated about whether or not I wanted to get the Pops for The Rise of Skywalker. I'm sure you all know how I feel about that movie. I've definitely not made that a secret. But I really debated about whether or not I wanted to get those Pops just because, like, bad feelings about that movie. But I am a completionist, and I desperately wanted to have the full, 3 pairs for the 3 movies. So I bit the bullet and I pre-ordered them. But before we get to the Reylo portion of this episode, I have this box that I wanted to open up first. So shout out to my friend Nicole who got me this, like I said. She was just at Walt Disney World, and she sent me this fun little Mandalorian pen. So there it is. Where I go, he goes. So that's going to go up on my Star Wars pen board. I'm so happy she got this. She had no idea that I had been looking at this pen on the Disney store and wishing that I could buy it. So thank you, Nicole, for sending me that. But speaking of other things that I had pre-ordered, I already have a Cal Kestis Black Series figure that I got, I guess, 2 years ago now. But when they released this new Cal Kestis, I desperately needed it. It's such a good looking figure. And my other Cal Kestis is actually still inside of the box, which is shocking. I only have a very few number of figures that I've kept in the box. One is my Poe Dameron figure. That's one of the really nice metal figures that I got at the Disney store. And then my Cal Kestis figure, and then my Finn Funko Pop that's signed by John Boyega. Those are the only ones that I have kept in the box. So I'm debating. We'll see if I make it through to the end of this episode before opening this Cal Kestis up, because I do want to play with it. But I just love that he's like in a different poncho and coloration. So poncho gang right here. But that brings us to the most important part of the episode, which is... Now, I haven't opened this yet. Like, this has been sitting, the sheer patience that I have exhibited this week by not tearing into this box yet. It's truly remarkable. Self-control. But, I have no idea what's inside, so, like, let's hope that Funko didn't send me a bad pop, because I will cry. Oh, it's my boy. The box is actually dented, so, like, if I was an in-the-box collector, I'd be really disappointed right now, but I'm not, so... I don't care. My boy. Look how they murdered my boy. I'm gonna free you. My sweet, sweet Ben Solo. Look at him. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna cry. Not gonna cry. Not going to cry. Sorry, Cobb. Oh god, he's perfect. at him. He was just trying to be a good boy at long last. But I am happy that it is one of the bobbleheads because I am a sucker for the bobblehead Funko Pops. I've always liked, you know, bobbleheads. So look at him. Okay, now I'm sad. So there he is, which leads us to this box now, which is Rey Yellow Lightsaber, not to be confused with Rey Nobody. I have such mixed feelings about getting these pops because, you know, I have very strong feelings about The Rise of Skywalker, and I took a lot of solace in the fact that there was no Rise of Skywalker merch, for some weird reason, you know. Post Rise of Skywalker depression, I was like, if there's no merch, the movie does not exist. And I say that as somebody who owns a Rise of Skywalker t-shirt that she bought at Disney World 2 weeks before the movie came out because she was excited. So, oh, how the tables have turned. Here's Rey. Just Rey. Yellow lightsaber. Just Rey. Look at her. Okay, so her lightsaber is actually bent. So, slight product error there. I do want to note that I understand that this is just like the packaging for this round of Funko Pops, but Ben's box has the Resistance decal in the back of it because he was a good boy. When he just took a nap, he's not dead. He's taking a nap. He will wake up at a later date. He needed to fade away for a bit. You know, all of us, sometimes things happen. We decide we need to just go ghost for a while, and then we come back. Here she is. Her lightsaber is like comically bent. So I'm not sure if I can fix that. I will say, quality-wise, I think the Pops have kind of gone down in quality slightly. Oh, got her. And kiss. God, you guys make me sad. But the figures are actually like fairly good quality, but I think her arm is loose. I say they're high quality and then I realize her arm's loose. So I mean, not the best, like, they're Funko Pops. But I will say, I think that the previous figures are slightly better quality in terms of the lightsabers, because this lightsaber of Rey's is like super bendable, and I don't think any of my Kylo Rens are this bendy. I'm going to do one of those cool like pauses, and I'll be right back with all of this fun stuff to share with you. So this was my first pair of Rey and Kylo figures that I got after The Force Awakens. Of course, masked Kylo Ren, which, my boy, and then Rey and her little outfit that she is on Jakku in. Just adorable. I have so many feelings about like how they constructed The Force Awakens, and this is like one of the few good things like I'll say about J.J. Abrams, but like I really liked the symbolism of like Rey, Kylo, and Finn all starting out with helmets on at the start of The Force Awakens. There's a lot about just their characters and where they are and how their arcs should have developed away from like hiding who they were and embracing parts of themselves, that I wish had been like a little bit stronger, obviously, with the final act of that trilogy. But I really did like that symbolism, and I think that that had a lot of potential, but it was not fully delved into. And then my next pair of Rey and Kylo Funko Pops, also the bobbleheads, is of course Maskless Kylo and Rey with her staff. Love these little figures. And then I don't have Reys for these two Kylos, so they're free and on their own. Also bobbleheads, but Kylo in the snow, looking like a little badass, using the Force. And then this one I actually won in a giveaway, which is obviously Rise of Skywalker, Kylo Ren with his cracked helmet. Also have feelings about that, but this glows in the dark and it's kind of cool. So like, this is one of the few Rise of Skywalker among the 2 new figures that I am totally chill with. And it is just like a cool figure. Like, he's very powerful looking in it. So big fan of this one. And then of course, my new ones, which is my alternate ending where they are both happy and alive. Yeah. You know, I'm not a huge fan of the yellow lightsaber. I think it can grow on me. I really wish that we had seen her actually like constructing it. I know that there's like in the background, you can see like parts of the lightsaber and stuff. But I would have really liked to see her like building the lightsaber. And that's just maybe just me thing, because like I really enjoy the whole process of like creating a lightsaber and building it, and the kyber crystal and how it reacts to you, and like the whole process that goes into like having a lightsaber. And I kind of wish that we had that for Rey's journey. But you know, wish in one hand. But you know, now I'm like really deep in my Rey and Ben feels. So that's always fun. So I'm going to open my Cal Kestis, and y'all get to see it happen. This is such a good figure. Let's see. I'm going to try to open it without like destroying, like completely destroying the box here. But yeah, so, you know, if you have seen the Bad Batch, I'm going to talk about Bad Batch while I am peeling off this tape. So this week, Fennec Shand returned to us, Queen of My Heart, Love of My Life. So happy to see her back on our screens. You know, I have a lot of hope that they're going to use this as an opportunity to build out her backstory so that we know a bit more about her going into the Book of Boba Fett in December, which, counting down the days until we get to see Tim and Ming-Na on our screens again. Very excited about that. But, you know, I enjoy the Bad Batch. I'm not like Clone Wars level of engaged with it as I had anticipated being. But I will say, I did not care if Fennec accidentally killed a clone, or accidentally on purpose killed one of the clones in her pursuit for Omega this week. I was like, if it happens, it happens. Oh well, they got in her way. So you really just see where my loyalties lay. Like, Fennec's my girl. She can do no wrong. I don't care. She's a bounty hunter. I don't care if she was trying to kidnap a child. Nobody has taught Omega stranger danger, so she's just doing her job. And I am really curious to see, like, who has Fennec been hired by? Like, has she been hired by the Empire? Is she, you know, going to be like Boba, who was later hired by the Empire? Is that going to be like a parallel between them? I mean, I ship them, so I'm always looking for parallels between them. I will say I am confused by the fact that, like, it's been a few years. I mean, Luke and Leia are like 2 weeks old at this point, and Fennec looks exactly like she does in The Mandalorian. So, I mean, if you find one outfit and it works for you, I guess just stick with it. But she should be, like, theoretically like a teenager. She doesn't look like a teenager, so I was a little confused by that. But, you know, I'm willing to let it slide if they give me backstory for Fennec. Okay, finally broke into the box. Please cure my Rise of Skywalker depression. So here he is. Here's my sweet Cal Kestis inside this plastic. there's like a scratch that I just accidentally put on it. But aside from that, this figure is quite good. I'm not a huge fan of like this being loose on him. Let's see, does it come off? Yes. Okay, so he has like, so you can have his hood either up or down. So I'm taking the hood off because I want it to be, oh, that's so good. Look at him. He's got his little hood on. This figure actually is like really good. I know that I reviewed the Bo-Katan figure a couple weeks ago, and I think this figure is actually even better than her. Like, his hair moves, which is different. His points of articulation seem fairly good. So he comes with two different hoods. He comes with the hood that I just had on him, and then the one that he came set with, which is just draped down his back. Definitely giving me like Lord of the Rings, Frodo's cape vibes, so definitely into that. And then it comes with two lightsabers. Let's see. I loved that part of Fallen Order where you got to customize the lightsaber and like have that whole experience. Very into that. So there is his double-bladed lightsaber, looking totally badass. And then he also has his blue lightsaber, which I think is the color that I ended up using when I played the game. Oh, the details are really nice on this too. Definitely spared no expense on making this look cool. But yes, there he is with his lightsaber. His feet, the articulation of his feet are pretty good actually. He like has actual ankles. And then of course there is BD1, the sweetest droid, though Clink has definitely gone up. Come on BD. Wait, is BD articulated? Oh my gosh, BD is articulated. Oh, do you see this? Do you see this? He is like actually articulated. This is so cool. His little head. Look at him. Okay, so he is going to sit on his shoulder, like a parrot. No. Okay. Look at him. Look at my sweet boys. They look so cute. Okay, this is definitely worth it if you haven't pre-ordered this, or if you were like on the fence about whether or not you needed another Cal Kestis in your life. 1010 would recommend. I feel like, is this... So there's like these little slots in Cal's back, and I feel like they are... I'm not sure, like those are obviously like not pictures. So I guess it's just supposed to be like how BD sits on his shoulder. But it works. There's one like at the base of his neck and then another one down below his arm. So I guess that's how you keep... Oh, there we go. There we go. So that is how BD perches on his back. So this is like a great figure. I kind of now want to open up my other one. I'm not going to. But this is awesome. And then of course there's like this little cute guy. I love little figures, but yeah, and of course the holocron. So definitely well worth the money. If you haven't pre-ordered this, go ahead and get it. GameStop has it. I think Amazon still has it. Definitely a must-have for anyone who is a fan of Jedi Fallen Order. Definitely helps cure Rise of Skywalker depression. But yeah, so that is my episode for today. I just wanted to come on and share my love for Rey and Kylo. I've been so like, I don't know. I have like a complicated relationship with ship fandoms now that like I've tried to remove myself from that segment of the Star Wars fandom. But I do ship a lot of things in Star Wars. Of course, I talked about this back during the Valentine's Day episode. Like Rey and Kylo are always going to have like a really special spot in my heart, and they're definitely like my number 2 ship in Star Wars. I love them. And now I'm sad. But I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I know it's a little bit long. It's just like me unboxing and talking about my love for Fennec Shand. But I hope you all have a really great rest of your weekend and, of course, your week. Be sure to tune in to the Outer Rim Beacon live stream on Friday night, where we'll be talking about the brand new episode of The Bad Batch. But before I go, had you in the first half here. On Wednesday, the embargo lifts for 3 books that are not out until the end of June and then in July. So be on the alert that people will be talking about the new High Republic books. We have been instructed not to give spoilers, so if anybody gives spoilers before these books come out, see you. Don't do it. But I will be reading this as soon as I finish editing today's episode, but I have already finished reading The Rising Storm and Race to Crash Point Tower. I cannot wait to post my reviews on Wednesday, so I cannot say anything about these books until then, so you'll just have to wait until my article comes out. But needless to say, like, I have so much I want to say, and I cannot wait for everybody to read these books next month and July, because I just can't wait. It has been killing me not to be able to talk to anyone about them on like a wider forum. So happy that the Geeky Waffle got arcs, so I at least have them to talk about or talk to you about these books, because otherwise I would be losing my mind. So I cannot wait just to like hear everybody's impressions and to talk and like theorize and dive in deep, because that's what makes Star Wars and the Star Wars fandom so fun, when we get to talk about the things that we love and are passionate about. So until next week, as always, may the Force be with you, and you are not alone.